Yeah. So, Shalom Aleichem to everyone. And we are in the week that is preparing us for Purim, Motzei Shabbos, and the Shabbos that we read, Parsha Zohar, Zohar is Asher Asolacha, and we have to blot out Amalek. Woo! Haman! Woo! It's a good warm-up. Nevertheless, one more. Hamas! Woo! And all the enemies of Am Yisrael all over the world. Teichef umiyad, Hashem should blot out their name and their remembrance, and they should not be existent anymore. We're in the study of the Dvar Malchus. We'll just take off the nose in order to be able to read. Otherwise, it's a little challenging. And in the Dvar Malchus itself, we're in Parshas Tetzaveh, even though this week we're the portion of the brand new Sefer that we're commencing this Shabbos Va'Yikra. And as we mentioned in the invitation, we have to make sure, and Hashem reminds us in the Torah, that the Aleph of Va'Yikra should be small. In other words, that we shouldn't have self-pride and arrogance. We shouldn't be behaving in a haughty way, but we should be in the manner that Moshe Rabbeinu is related to Ha'anav shebechol ha'adam asher al pnei ha'adama, the most humble of all people upon the face of the universe. And this brings us to the revelation of the great Aleph, the Alufay Shel Olam, the champion of the world. This is in reference to Hashem himself, the Holy One, blessed be He, and He should be revealed in the Gola, the letters Gimel Vav Lamed Hey, which is another word for the Golos, exile. But when the Aleph is revealed, we know that it spells out, instead of Gola, Geula. Geula, redemption. Teichef umiyad mamash, immediately now. So we said that when Parshas Tetzaveh, in the Dvar Malchus, the hard copy, depending on what format you have. By me, it's on page 367. But the seif is the clause is seif Yud Aleph, letter Yud Aleph. In the PDF file, it's page 13. In the PDF file, page 13, the left-hand column, Ois Yud Aleph. And the Rebbe says as follows. And first and foremost, the greatness of the sanctifying of Hashem's name in this happening, in this occurrence. And as we were learning last week, this is in regard to a mother in Crown Heights, Sabira, in the neighborhood of Crown Heights, that literally went and protected her children from a thief that came through the window. The thief was not perturbed by the woman, and he took this mother's life and ran away. But this is exactly what was left, and the Rebbe says that she was a mother that had a young mother that had children that need her, and nevertheless, due to the fact that she wanted to protect them, that nothing should happen to them, this was the result. And there are things that we, with our intellectual comprehension, don't have the ability to comprehend, though we don't have the ability to understand. And this is amongst one of them. Nevertheless, the Rebbe says that this concept comes and brings us to the following conclusions. It's known that which is explained in the words of our rabbis of blessed memory, Bechama, of our wise men of blessed memory, Bechama v'chama mekemes, in numerous places, al dvar goydel ha'ilui v'aflo v'aschus v'asachar dekudus Hashem, in regard to the greatness and the elevation and the wondrous merit and reward in regard to sanctifying Hashem's name. Ubifrat Kiddush Hashem Barabim, and especially when we're talking about the sanctifying of Hashem's name in public, not in a situation where no one knows about it. And stressing this even more so, the Rebbe says, when there's a sanctification of Hashem's name in this neighborhood, referring to Crown Heights in Brooklyn, in New York. In which we find, in this neighborhood, the Crown Heights, the synagogue, the house of prayer, uveis medrash, the house of study, uveis ma'asim tevim, the house of good deeds, bais meshulash, a triangular home, dichvad kedushas meir v'chami admar nesiderenu, of the previous Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, the leader of our generation. And when this is connected, therefore, with the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, with the leader of the generation, which the Rebbe at different accounts has explained that this title Nesi Darenu refers to him, to the Rebbe himself. The Rebbe says that the Kiddush Hashem, the sanctification of Hashem's name in public, Barabim, is even greater and even stronger than in any other circumstance. And the Rebbe says that we must add in the greatness and in the wondrousness of the sanctification of Hashem's name, Shematzinu, that we found Etzel Beis Yosef. There's a story that is that we find by the Beis Yosef. He was Rabbi Yosef Karo. He's a local Tzvatonian, as we know. He was the original author of the Shulchan Aruch of the Jewish Code of Law. Shemitzad Geidel Ma'aloso Madriga say that as far as the greatness of his virtue and his level, he was worthy that the Holy One, blessed be He, should give him the merit of what? Of giving over his life in order to sanctify Hashem's name. This is how great the mitzvah of the sanctification of Hashem's name is. That the great tzaddikim, we're told of the great righteous of the previous generations that prayed to be meritorious to come to this level of sanctifying Hashem's name, giving over their lives in the sanctification of Hashem's name. Ella sha'achar kach, but what happened is later on, there was a reason. A concept that was not appropriate according to the level and the state of the Beis Yosef, that due to this, the Beis Yosef was per se punished. And he was not given the merit of giving over his life in order to sanctify Hashem's name. And this, that he wasn't given the merit to sanctify Hashem's name by giving over his life, was considered to be what? A punishment. Yeah. Even though after this whole happening, we see that Rabbi Yosef Karo, the Beis Yosef, had the merit of doing what? Of going and writing his great, magnificent work, the Shulchan Aruch, the Jewish Code of Law. And to be a instructor of Jewish law to all the children of Israel, till the end of generations, to our time and place, and immediately also now, when we have the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMoshiach, immediately now. From this we understand that the merit of going and writing the Jewish code of law does not come to the greatness of the merit, the Mesiras Nefesh al Kiddush Hashem, of giving over one's life in order to sanctify Hashem's name. Ulehoyer, and the Rebbe comes and says that we must mention that this is also connected to the utterance of Moshe Rabbeinu, saying saying to Hashem that Hashem should wipe him out of his book, the Torah, if he doesn't forgive the Jewish nation for the sin of the golden calf. That in this is stressed that the sanctification, that the giving over of Moshe Rabbeinu's life, Bishvil Yisrael, for the sake of the Jewish nation, is above the status or the existence of Moshe Rabbeinu, as it is connected with the Torah. For therefore, mevater Moshe Rabbeinu l'zchus, Moshe Rabbeinu forgoes the merit liyas kosu b'Torah, to be mentioned in the Torah. This is unbelievable. The Rebbe says, when he said that Hashem should wipe him out of his book, the Torah, mikol ha-Torah kula, from the entire Torah. Biglal Mesiras Nefesh, Bishvil Yisrael, since he, Moshe Rabbeinu, he was willing to give over his own life for the sake, on behalf of the Jewish nation. Kishem she'aschus dechibur ha'shulchan aruch eino magas legedol haschus the Mesiras Nefesh al Kiddush Hashem. Just as if we make the comparison to the authoring, the writing of the Jewish Code of Law by Rabbi Yosef Karo, that does not come to the greatness of the merit of giving over one's life in order to sanctify Hashem's name, Kiddush Hashem. The Rebbe goes back to the original point, and in addition to the greatness and the elevation and the wondrousment of the sanctifying of Hashem's name in public, that is in general, when the mitzvah of sanctifying Hashem's name in public is carried out, this is even greater, even more stressed, when a young woman gives over her life, a mother to young infants, young children, for besides the fact that she is giving over her own life, her own existence on the behalf of her children, we see that she is also willing to forego the ability to be together with her own young children, because she is giving over her life to sanctify Hashem's name. In this manner that she is leaving the children alone, so to speak, despite the fact that she knows how great the connection and how great the children will miss her. And she is leaving, and she left the raising and the educating of her children, her young children, in the hands of others. And furthermore, even more so, that the giving over of her own children is a mesiras nefesh, is the giving over of her own life in an even greater manner. The yeser seis of yeser eis, and with greater strength and greater vitality. Mesiras nefesh shalah, even greater than the fact that she is giving over her own life. She is willing to sanctify Hashem's name and willing to part from her young children in doing so. And therefore the Rebbe concludes that this constitutes the giving over of one's life to sanctify Hashem's name, which is even greater than any giving over of one's life in order to sanctify Hashem's name. We'll stop here. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu V'Rabbeinu Melech HaMoshiach Le'olam Voed. And we wish everyone that from now on we should only have good tidings and good news on a good and revealed basis, with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMoshiach on a good and revealed basis. And it should be all, as we said earlier, with the triumphant victory of our soldiers and the security forces over all the enemies of Am Yisrael, and the immediate healing of all the injured, and the immediate return of all the shvuyim, all the hostages. And together with this, we should all be able to celebrate in the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi VaNitzchi, in the third and the eternal Beis HaMikdash, with the Geula, in the Geula HaMitis VaShlema, in the true and the complete Geula, redemption, Teichef umiyad, mamish, mamish, mamish. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu V'Rabbeinu HaMelech HaMoshiach Chai V'Kayam Le'olam Voed. Amen.